In a busy restaurant, everyone is celebrating Claire's birthday. Claire, her best friend Marcia, and her dad wait for Casey. Casey, busy on the phone, eventually joins them after her car broke down. Claire's dad kindly invites Casey to join them. They all settle into the car, loading things into the trunk. Suddenly, a stranger distracts Claire's dad, and another person sneaks into the car. Claire questions the unexpected passenger, suggesting they might be in the wrong car. To their surprise, the mysterious person puts on a mask and releases a disorienting spray, making them all lose consciousness. When Casey wakes up, she's in a room with a worried Claire and Marcia. Tension rises as the door opens, revealing the ominous kidnapper, Dennis. Taking Marcia away, Casey instinctively tells her to act distressed by wetting her clothes, hoping to protect her from the captor's intentions. Surprisingly, Marcia follows the advice, and the kidnapper lets her go. We learn about Dennis's unusual nature. He struggles with obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, and has a strong aversion to dirt, making him compulsively clean. However, a more unsettling revelation comes to light as Dennis, fixated on a specific desire, leads Marcia away for a sinister purpose. The story shifts to Dr. Karen Fletcher, a psychiatrist, arriving at her apartment. A news report about the recent kidnapping of 3 girls grabs her attention on the television. Simultaneously, she receives an urgent email from her patient Kevin, hinting at an imminent session. Back in the kidnapper's hideout, Claire encourages Casey and Marcia to resist their captivity. Meanwhile, Dr. Karen Fletcher interacts with Kevin, unknowingly engaging with the person responsible for the girls' abduction. The narrative reveals a crucial detail. Kevin is dealing with dissociative identity disorder, also known as split personality disorder. This condition involves a person hosting multiple distinct personalities, each existing independently. Importantly, the affected person remains unaware of these coexisting personalities, seeing them as separate entities. Kevin, the main character, carries the burden of 23 distinct personalities. Dr. Karen Fletcher, well acquainted with Kevin's complex mind, is familiar with each of his 23 personalities. During a scheduled session, Kevin assumes the persona of Barry, a personality that usually earns approval from Dr. Karen for its functionality and kindness. However, an unexpected visit from Kevin raises suspicions. Dr. Karen questions Barry about the unusual deviation from their regular meeting. Kevin, visibly uneasy, reassures her that everything is fine, changing the subject and confirming his commitment to their scheduled sessions. Meanwhile, the kidnapped girls listen in on Kevin's conversation with one of his female personalities. Desperate to escape, they press their ears to the door, hoping to catch any hints. To attract attention and possibly secure their release, the girls start shouting. The door opens, giving them a glimmer of hope as they anticipate help from an unexpected source. A shock grips the captive girls when Kevin, the same man who kidnapped them, reveals himself as Patricia. Patricia is one of Kevin's 23 distinct personalities, and in this identity, he identifies as a woman. Strangely, Patricia reassures the frightened girls that she has told Dennis, another personality, not to harm or disturb them. In their traumatized state, the girls hold on to the hope that maybe this is all just a scary mind game. The door creaks open again, revealing Dennis, burdened by his OCD, handing cleaning tools to the girls. He shares that Patricia has instructed him not to have any harmful intentions, emphasizing that he won't pose a threat. Still trying to make sense of their ordeal, the girls wonder if this might be some twisted psychological game. As the door opens once more, a 9-year-old personality named Hedwig enters. Mysteriously cryptic, Hedwig alludes to someone coming, but refuses to give specifics. Despite Casey's attempts to get more information, Hedwig remains elusive, only hinting that the impending arrival is not a good thing. Trying to influence Hedwig, Casey suggests that the person coming may not care about them. Hedwig, scared by the idea, hesitates before admitting he can't help them. Hedwig mysteriously talks about creating a safe space in their confined area before leaving abruptly, leaving the girls in suspense. Confused by Hedwig's cryptic message, Casey decides to search for potential escape routes. The trio discovers a hidden passage in the ceiling, sparking a glimmer of hope. As they try to secure their newfound escape route, Dennis appears. In a frantic effort, Claire breaks free, but is cornered and isolated in another room by Dennis. In a parallel story, Dr. Karen Fletcher, during a conference, explores the complexities of dissociative identity disorder. She shares a fascinating case where a patient could manifest two distinct personalities simultaneously, even writing with different hands and showing distinct handwriting styles. Dr. Karen emphasizes that these varied personalities are coping mechanisms created by the subconscious in response to trauma, providing individuals with tools to navigate challenging situations. The story returns to Kevin, who assumes the persona of Barry for a scheduled session with Dr. Karen. Despite Barry's attempts to maintain the act, Dr. Karen discerns that she is talking to Dennis. This revelation catches Barry off guard. Dr. Karen forbids the emergence of two personalities, Dennis and Patricia, due to their problematic behaviors. Dennis, with his inappropriate fascination, originates from a traumatic incident involving two girls who wronged Kevin in the past. Dr. Karen challenges Kevin's claim of being Barry, questioning if Dennis has taken control. Barry denies this, leading to Dr. Karen apologizing as the session ends. She uses security cameras to monitor Kevin's current personality and observes a stark contrast to Dennis's obsessive cleanliness. In captivity, Patricia takes charge, bringing food to Casey and Marcia. Marcia's escape attempt results in an attack on Patricia, who then confines Marcia. Dennis warns Casey about the upcoming arrival of the Beast, a threat to all three girls. Casey tries to decipher the identity of this menacing force. Kevin's shifting personalities take center stage as he becomes Hedwig, revealing that Barry has lost control. Hedwig shares insights into the beliefs held by Dennis and Patricia. They believe in a mysterious entity called the Beast. Guiding Casey to a walkie-talkie, Hedwig provides a potential lifeline. As Casey approaches it, the person on the other end dismisses the situation as a joke. Dennis takes control, bringing Casey into a room and declaring, "The Beast is coming, and everything will end soon." Dennis and Patricia, driven by a protective instinct, have taken charge of Kevin's body. The roots of Kevin's personalities trace back to traumatic experiences, explaining why Dennis and Patricia are in control. The story reveals Casey's painful past, exposing the enduring trauma she carries. Dr. Karen receives emails from Barry, sensing something is wrong. She goes to Kevin's house, encountering Dennis, who cryptically insists that the powerful Beast will set everything right. Dr. Karen suspects Dennis's involvement in the girls' kidnapping. Dr. Karen cleverly slips into the washroom and discovers Claire held captive before she can act. Unfortunately, Dennis steps in, knocking her out. Meanwhile, Kevin, now embodying the Beast, hops on a train. At the girls' location, Casey successfully unlocks her room and checks Kevin's computer, finding videos revealing the intricacies of his personalities. Tragically, the Beast emerges, taking the lives of Dr. Karen and the two other girls. As the seemingly human yet primal Beast scales walls, Casey desperately searches for a way to survive. Realizing, she calls out Kevin's full name, triggering a return to his original personality. Witnessing the aftermath, Kevin, now in his original persona, is overwhelmed with sorrow. He reveals a gun, urging Casey to end his torment. However, as personalities shift, Hedwig emerges triumphant. Casey's calls reveal Kevin's personalities claim to have put him to rest permanently, leaving only the Beast. Fleeing, Casey fires shots, but the Beast remains unfazed. Seeking refuge in a cage, the Beast begins breaking it apart, poised to unleash. However, his demeanor changes when he sees Casey's scars, empathizing and refraining from harm. After the beast leaves, a man helps Casey escape the cage, revealing she was in a zoo. Shaken, Casey finds comfort in the man, who calls the police. In the police car, an officer informs Casey her guardian, Uncle John, has arrived, hinting at complex emotions tied to her past. In the movie's end, Kevin transforms in the mirror, discussing the beast's powers with his personalities. News reports dub him the Horde. A girl connects this to a wheelchair-bound person from 15 years ago. A man recalls Mr. Glass, concluding the movie with mystery and suspense, leaving Casey's fate, Kevin's return, and lingering mysteries unresolved.